There was a plethora of technologies that we used to make this film opening. If we talk about the software side, um, there is obviously a lot of software involved from the pre-production stage even to the production, post-production. I think most of the work is done by like most of the work is done via softwares to whatever extent. Let's break it down. So in pre-production stage, obviously we had to integrate different softwares. I To write the screenplay, I used a software known called Studio Binder, because that really helped me with shaping everything up for the script and turning it into a film industry format. I use Microsoft Excel to make the shortlist for the film opening, and we landed off. It was a really good, cohesive experience as well. I used a software online that makes pie charts that I fed data into, and that converted that very specific data into pie charts for me, so I could use it for my demographic research. Moreover, there were so many more different technologies. If you look at the auditioning, uh, mm, imagine auditioning, imagine handing out advertisement or casting calls for auditions of 20 years back, 30 years back. We didn't have the technology back then to just send a message and receive applicants. So this technology that I used by sending a message over the internet to gather people is amazing. And I feel like when we study technological convergence and uh, just convergence in general, I feel like as the eras go by, it gets easier and and the technology gets more brilliant. So even for the auditioning stage, we had to obviously integrate technologies in the production processes. Of course, the camera I used for the cinematography, which was the Apple iPhone 13 Pro Max, had an amazing software interface where there were options to change the frame rate, where there were options to change the resolution, the frame rate, the exposure, the density, the shadows, the white point, the saturation. I think it was an amazing piece of technology, and I think it's only getting better to the point where we don't have to use professional cameras anymore to capture good footage or to make great films. And this is a very good example of this, as to how easy and convenient it is getting with such amazing technologies. And the hardware of the phone itself, with the triple cameras, which is obviously the telephoto, the wide, and the ultra wide camera. So we have a 12 megapixel. We have 12 megapixel pro camera systems with telephoto that captures 2.8 aperture. We have the wide with the 1.5 aperture. We have the ultra wide with the 1.8 aperture and a 120-degree field of view. Obviously, a 3 times optical zoom, 2 times optical zoom out, 6 times optical zoom range, and it also has a digital zoom up to 15x, night mode portraits and lidar scanner, and it also obviously has a mono depth control and night vision deep mode. It's a extremely well-rounded camera and is better than most mid-range professional cameras as well. And obviously, when we're talking about the hardware side, it has a Super Retina XDR display with ProMotion. It has a 6.7-inch diagonal this OLED display, and obviously it has promotion technology with adaptive refreshes, which goes up to 120 hertz. It has true tone, it has white color, and obviously haptic touch, and it has a 20 million to 1 contrast ratio. So the hardware itself is insanity. It's amazing. I also had lighting, which we didn't really need to use because the footage we were getting was absolutely intended, and the dark and gloomy vibe was the goal. So we I didn't use any lighting hardware for the project. And then most importantly, obviously, when it comes to the editing side of things, the hardware that I use was obviously my HP Pavilion HP EliteBook laptop, and then obviously my phone to edit the entire thing. We had lots and lots of software um, when it comes to the post production part, obviously, because that is predominantly supposed to be on software. So I edited, reviewed, and cut the footage in Microsoft Clipchamp, and then I imported it back into my phone to use CapCut Mobile, which has over 1 billion downloads and is one of the most popular and the most accessible video editing softwares. I used lots of different techniques like extraction from videos, um, a stabilization display, audio recording, automatic closed captions, and so many more things that were part of the software uh, of the editor itself. For the score and for the background, I used a lot of online tools like websites called Pixabay, Fesliyan Studios, VoiceChanger.io, YouTube, and just generally a plethora of different websites that help me create and bring all of this vision to life. So of course there were so many different technologies integrated, from software to hardware and online, in this project, and without these technologies it wouldn't have been possible to do anything at all.